Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to talk about friction. We will talk about static friction, then law of static friction. We will talk about kinetic friction, then expressions, etc. Consider a body of mass m rests on a horizontal table. What are the two forces acting on the mass? One is obviously one force is due to gravity acting vertically downwards. That is the weight of the mass, weight of that object, that will be equal to m into g. Right, that force due to gravity, that will be equal to the weight of this object, and it acts on the table in the vertically downward direction. Okay, because earth attracts every object towards its center, no? So there will be a force acting on this mass which is equal to the weight of this object, that is m into g, that is acting in the vertically downward direction. Even if the weight of this object is acting vertically downward, the table prevents the mass from falling downward. How? According to Newton's third law of motion, to every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. So the table exerts a force which is equal to the weight of the body, but in the vertically upward direction. And this force is actually called as normal reaction force and represented by capital letter N. Okay, so when a body rests on a horizontal table, the force of gravity is cancelled. The force of gravity is cancelled by the normal reaction force N of the table. Now, suppose a horizontal force F is applied. That is, a force F is applied horizontally on this body. If this applied force F is small, then this force may not be enough to move this body or move this object. But we know that if this is the only external force acting on this body, then this body should move with an acceleration A is equal to F divided by M. Because as per from the Newton's second law of motion, we have the expression F is equal to M into A. So A is equal to F by M. So here the external force acting on the body is F in the horizontal direction, but the body remains at rest. That means some other force comes into play in the horizontal direction and opposes this external applied force. An external force applied on this object in this direction, but the object remains at rest. That means some other force is acting on this object in the opposite direction, which will be having the equal magnitude as that of this external force. Okay, so that the two forces cancel each other to make the body remains at rest. This force which acts parallel to the surface of the body, the force which acts parallel to the surface of the body in contact with the table and which opposes this external force, since the body is remaining at rest, that force is actually called as static friction or simply friction. It is represented by F suffix x. Okay, static friction or simply friction. That force is actually opposing this external force and that makes the body at rest. Okay, remain at rest. So this friction is actually the static friction. That is, the static friction is responsible for the resting position of the body even if some external force applied on the body. Static friction does not exist by itself. That is, when there is no applied force, there is no static friction. It comes into play the moment there is an external applied force on this body. As the applied force F increases, static friction also increases and static friction remains equal and opposite to the applied force, keeping the body at rest. But we can increase the static friction only up to a certain limit, beyond which we cannot increase the static friction. When the external force exceeds the maximum limit of static friction or the limiting friction, the body begins to move. Okay, because we cannot, as the external force increases, okay, static friction also increases, but we cannot increase that static friction beyond a certain value. That is, we can increase that to up to a certain limit or up to a certain value, beyond which we cannot increase the static friction. Okay, so when the external force exceeds that maximum limit of static friction, which is actually called as the limiting friction, the body begins to move. And it is found experimentally that the limiting value of the static friction or the maximum value of static friction, that is Fs, that is independent of the area of contact of the body. But the limiting value of static friction that varies with the normal reaction force. That is, limiting value of static friction means the maximum value of static friction that actually varies with the normal reaction force. So that is actually proportional to the normal reaction force N. So I am writing this in an equation form. So Fx maximum, that's the limiting friction or maximum value of the static friction, that can be written as some constant mu s into N. Okay, I am taking this as equation number 1, and here the mu s, it is a constant of proportionality and it is called as coefficient of static friction. Okay, the coefficient of static friction, this mu s, that depends only on the nature of the surfaces in contact, whether it is smooth or rough, like that. Okay, now the law of static friction can be written as, Fs is less than or equal to mu s into N. Okay, the law of static friction can be written as Fs is less than or equal to mu s into N. Right, I am taking this as equation number 2. So this is the law of static friction. That is, according to the law of static friction, the static frictional force is less than or equal to the product of coefficient of static friction mu s and the normal reaction between the interacting surfaces, that is N. The maximum value of static friction or the limiting value of static friction is what? Mu s into N. Fs can be less than or equal to mu s N. That is, it can be less than mu s into N. The maximum value is equal to mu s into N. Okay, if the applied force exceeds this Fs maximum, then body begins to slide. When the body begins to move, that is when there is a relative motion between the two surfaces when the relative motion between the two surfaces has started, then static friction decreases and kinetic friction takes over. I will provide the link for that static friction and kinetic friction which you have already studied. I will provide the link for that in the description box so that you can watch that. What is kinetic friction or dynamic friction? The frictional force that opposes the relative motion between the two surfaces in contact, that is called as kinetic friction or sliding friction. It is denoted by Fk. That is, you can consider a body here. It moves on this horizontal rod or ground or whatever it is. It moves on a horizontal plane. So it is moving along this direction. There is an external force vector F acts on this body. So there is actually a relative motion between the surface of this table or plane, whatever it is, the surface of this rod or whatever be the surface. If this is a table, then surface of this table and surface of this body. So there is a relative motion between the two surfaces in contact. So there will be a frictional force that opposes the relative motion between the two surfaces in contact, and that is actually the kinetic friction. Okay, and it is represented by Fk. Kinetic friction, that is also independent of the area of contact. It satisfies a law similar to that of the law of static friction. That is, the force of kinetic friction, it is directly proportional to the normal reaction force. That is, kinetic friction can be written as mu k into N. Where this mu k, I am taking this as equation number 3. This mu k, it is actually a constant of proportionality which is actually called as coefficient of kinetic friction. Ideally, the coefficient of kinetic friction depends only on the nature of the surface, a smooth surface, rough surface, like that. Experimentally, it is found that the coefficient of kinetic friction, that is mu k, it is less than the coefficient of static friction. That is, mu k is less than mu s. I am taking this as equation number 4. Okay, now when the body is in motion, what will be its acceleration? When a body is in motion, what will be its acceleration? You just imagine this is the body which is in motion, that is moving along this particular direction. What will be its acceleration? From Newton's second law of motion, we actually have F is equal to m into a. Okay, then we can write the acceleration as A is equal to F divided by m, where F is the net external force acts on that body. So you see this body, there is an external force F acts on this body along this direction, and there is a kinetic frictional force acts in the opposite direction, but still the body moves along this direction. That means this force is greater than this force now. So what about the net force acting on this body? Though there are two forces acting in the opposite directions on the body, they have different magnitudes. Okay, so there is a net force acting on this body. That net force is what? F minus Fk. So we can write the acceleration as force, that is net force F minus Fk divided by mass of this body. So divided by m. I'm taking this as equation number 5. Now, if the body is moving with constant velocity. Okay, if the body is moving with constant velocity, then acceleration equal to 0, no? Acceleration comes into play only when there is a change in velocity. If the body is moving with constant velocity, constant means uniform velocity, so there is no change in velocity. That means acceleration is 0. When acceleration is 0, this expression becomes what? 0 is equal to F minus Fk divided by m. If I am taking m to this side, that becomes 0. So F minus Fk is equal to 0, which implies F is equal to Fk. That is when the body is moving with the constant velocity, that is 0 acceleration, the external force acts on the body and the kinetic frictional force which opposes the relative motion, both will be equal in magnitude and obviously opposite in direction. So both the two forces acting on this body are equal in magnitude and opposite direction. That doesn't mean the body is at rest. Okay, the body can be in uniform motion too. That is the situation here. The body is in uniform motion. The net force acting on this body is 0 when we are considering this particular situation. That is when the body is moving with the constant velocity. When it is in uniform motion, its acceleration is 0. Its acceleration is 0 means acceleration 0 doesn't mean that there is no force acting on that body. Okay, there can be so many forces acting on that body, but the net force acting on that body will be 0. That is what 0 acceleration implies. Okay, so for an accelerating body, the acceleration is what? For an accelerating body, the acceleration is A is equal to F minus Fk divided by m. Right. Now, if the applied force F on the body is removed, okay, that is F is equal to 0. If we stopped applying, that is, you consider this as a ball. We keeps applying some force on the ball so that it moves along this direction. You just imagine this as a ground, and we keep kicking the ball or by applying some force on the ball so that the ball moves along this direction. Now, if we stopped kicking the ball, or if we stopped applying the force on the ball, that is when F equal to 0. What about its acceleration? Its acceleration becomes 0 minus Fk, that is minus Fk divided by m. That is minus Fk is the kinetic friction divided by mass. I am taking this as equation number 6. Sorry. Here acceleration is negative now. What does it mean? It means that the velocity decreases with the time. That is, now there is no external force acts on the body. So its velocity decreases and eventually the body comes to a stop. That is, you see, when we stopped applying that external force on the ball will move for some time. The ball will move, it will move on the horizontal surface of that ground or whatever be that surface. Okay, it will move through that surface, but eventually it comes to stop. It comes to a stop. Eventually it comes to in a state of rest. Why? Because there will be a force of friction, that is kinetic friction, acting on that body in the which opposes the motion of that body, and because of that frictional force acting on the opposite direction of the motion of the ball, its velocity decreases with the time. Okay, and eventually it comes to a stop. So in this video, we have discussed about a very simple concept, friction. We have discussed about the static friction and the kinetic friction. I hope you understood this. Thank you.